Hello guys, so today we would like to present our major project, which is appreciations to the Frontliner. My name is Florence and I'm the leader of my group members, which is Erma Fitriana, Eva Adeline, Joyce Philemon, and also Lauren Michael. Let's proceed to the presentations. So, in these programs, we will talk about the latest informations about the frontliners who were struggling behind the scenes against the COVID-19 outbreak. So, why this program should be organized? Since the world right now is in a complete chaos about the COVID-19 outbreak, and that is why we choose these programs to spread awareness to people around us. So, each member of our group will be making a videos about the frontliners in Malaysia against the COVID-19. Our group is more focused in revealing the sacrifice of frontliners against COVID-19, how to reduce the spreading of COVID-19 virus among the frontliners, and the impact if we don't have frontliners in our country. We focus on this topic so that it can increase the public awareness about the sacrifice of frontliners in Malaysia, so that people will be more aware that social distancing is important to make sure that the COVID-19 virus chain is completely broken. Moving on, so this is our mind map for our videos, appreciations to the frontliners. The first thing you will see is the introductions about the frontliners and the slogan we use to appreciate our frontliners. Secondly is the fact or problems faced by our frontliners against the COVID-19 virus. Thirdly is the story behind the fact and problems among frontliners against COVID-19. Fourth is the consequence if the country does not have frontliners. Fifth is the suggestion to reduce the risk of COVID-19 virus. And lastly, the slogan about the public awareness and appreciation to the frontliners.
Hello guys, my name is Florence. Let me show you something. These photos and a short video of our Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin share his appreciations to all frontliners for their tireless efforts to break the country's COVID-19 infection chain. Our Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin said that all the efforts taken have shown an impact. Malaysia stands on top of the world where the COVID-19 management is concerned. He also said that this is a recognition and credit to everyone involved and who have worked tirelessly for all this time. The Malaysia healthcare management system has been saluted as one of the best in the world.
Terima kasih. Well, let me first and foremost express my greatest appreciation. I must say a big thank you to all of you. I think you represent those so-called unsung heroes who have been working so hard from day one until now, and I've been informed non-stop, day and night. I think this is one of the biggest sacrifices that you have made for the nation, for obvious reason. And I must say that I must thank you from the bottom of my heart, because what has been happening since this COVID-19 started until now is a very serious matter.
So, firstly is introduction about the frontliners against COVID-19 and the slogan used to appreciate the frontliners by my friends Eva Adeline binti Pene.
Go away, COVID. Bye.
Stay and work for us. We stay at home for you. Thank you, heroes.
Stay
Good day
at work
and work
for us.
for us.
We stay
We stay
at home
at home
for you.
for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay and work for us. We stay at home for you. Thank you.
Stay and work for us. We stay at home for you. Thank you. Us. We stay at home for you.
There are many invisible and unsung heroes among us. They are committed to giving more than their tech, focused on the bigger picture and willing to sacrifice their energy, time and effort for the benefit of all Malaysians from all walks of life. The nation is forever in their debt. The Frontliner is made up of many heads, hearts and hands functioning as one seamless unit, from medical specialists, medical officers, house officers, assistant medical officers, nurses, health inspectors, lab technicians. And this long list does not even cover the healthcare professionals who make up the Frontliner, or the countless other unsung heroes such as security guard, cooks who ensure food is delivered to patients, the cleaners who are exposed day in and day out to remove clinical waste, the front and back staff who are not clinically trained but still working in high exposure risk environment, the police officers, military, and many more heroes are playing a part in making sure the country stays safe. It is a turbulent time for all of us. Without them, there wouldn't be comfort for us at home. So, let's take a moment to share in the pain of those who have sacrificed their time, energy, and comfort for us. Let's take a moment to appreciate our brave Frontliner.
Secondly, what is the fact of problems faced by the frontliners against the COVID-19 virus? By Florence Johnson.
Since the novel coronavirus of COVID-19 was first detected in Wuhan, China in December last year, the outbreak seems to continue spreading to the world. After about 5 months, it has spread to more than 210 countries that infect approximately 1.6 million people and sacrifice almost 100,000 lives around the world. Since the first case was recorded on January 23rd, many hospitals in Malaysia have been prepared to face any possibility. This outbreak is not easy to control, and Malaysia is expecting an increase in cases. Many preparations have been made, such as organizing the government staff, identifying critical infrastructure such as ICU, as well as coordinating and collaborating with other hospitals. So, now I'm going to talk about what is the fact behind our slogan, which is appreciation to the frontliners and the problems faced by our frontliners during the COVID-19 outbreak. One of the major challenges faced by our frontliners, especially among doctors and nurses against COVID-19, is to work in a temporary camps under the hot weather while wearing full protective clothing or personal protective equipment. Despite the hot weather, our frontliners would not ignore the standard operating procedure and have to wear PPE suits all the time. Secondly, the sacrifice of the healthcare workers is not just about treating the COVID-19 patients, but also extending their respective areas of work. For example, during their leisure times that should be used for their rest periods, they use this time to sewing PPE voluntarily, despite being an amateur seamstress. Each of them does not waste energy to prepare PPE suits for the use in treating COVID-19 patients. Thirdly, as a frontliners, they are at risk for COVID-19 infections. They are a frontliners who send their children to the village for fear that their child will be infected with COVID-19 virus. The frontliners have stated that they have not met their children and families in the village since the COVID-19 outbreak spread in the country. Next is frontliners also face challenges such as conducting laboratory tests before a person is confirmed positively or negatively COVID-19. The sample they received was too much that they had to work on office hours up to 3 shifts. Other than that, the death of a COVID-19 patient in the world is nothing new. The frontliners also express their sympathy and sadness when they see the death of a COVID-19 patients who have to go through their last few moments in the world alone without their loved ones. Lastly, the biggest challenge faced by our frontliners is dealing with the death of a COVID-19 patients because there was a risk to get infections from the dead body of a COVID-19 patients. Third is, what is the story behind the facts of problems among the frontliners against COVID-19? By Florence Elena Gelson. So, firstly, I have stated that the biggest challenge facing by our frontliners was to work in a temporary camps under the hot weather while wearing full protective clothing or personal protective equipment. Despite the hot weather, our frontliners will not ignore the standard operating procedure and to wear PPE all the times. Full use of PPE was the same as being in a sauna because it was too hot. Full PPE wear including wearing N95 mask, 3-piece surgical mask, full gown, double-layer glove, full shield, apron, shoes cover, boot cover, and so on, before entering the ward to provide treatment for the COVID-19 patients. Doctor and nurses will plan from the outside by wearing full PPE and subsequently providing treatment to the patients.
Itu pengalaman dia macam kita berada di sauna. Bila kita pakai full PPE daripada mask N95, yang ni saya pakai adalah surgical mask triply. Full gown, kita kena pakai double layer glove, kita kena pakai full shield, kita kena pakai apron, kita kena pakai shoe cover, boot cover. So bila kita pakai dalam keadaan macam tu, kat dalam tu kita pakai OT attire, kita tak pakai uniform. Sebab bila kita datang kerja, kita akan tukar daripada uniform kepada OT attire. So bila ada kes yang kita nak masuk, kita akan merancang. Sebelum kita nak masuk bagi sesuatu perawatan tu, kita akan merancang daripada luar. Bersama doktor, kita akan masuk bersama doktor. So kita akan pakai full PPE dan kita akan bagi perawatan dekat pesakit masuk kat dalam.
The next one, the sacrifice of healthcare workers is not just about treating the COVID-19 patients, but also extending their respective area of work. For example, during the leisure times that should be used for the rest periods, they use this time to sewing PPE voluntarily despite being an amateur seamstress. Each of them does not waste energy to prepare PPE for the use of treating COVID-19 patients due to inadequate supplies, and the hospitals requires about 2,000 sets of PPEs per a day. The hospital staff took their own initiative to make the PPE suit. Thirdly,
As a frontliners, they are at risk for COVID-19 infections from the treated patients. They are frontliners who send their children to the village for fear that their child will be infected with the COVID-19 virus. The frontliners have stated that they have not met their children and families in the village for a long time, especially during the festival season such as Hari Raya Aidilfitri, Hari Raya Keamatan, and Hari Gawai. This was the testimony from our frontliners who have not met their children and family in the village.
Okay, so sebelum saya memberi pesanan kepada semua rakyat Malaysia dekat luar, saya nak bagi tahu kita start daripada kita terima sampel. Saya memang dah merancang saya untuk menguruskan family saya, di mana saya telah menghantar anak-anak saya ke kampung start daripada sebelum 16 bulan 3. Jadi kena untuk kita orang terpaksa berkorban itu, terpaksa dah lebih dekat sebulan tak jumpa anak-anak. Even kawan saya punya side pun, dia cakap anak dia selalu tanya, bila mama nak balik awal. Lepas tu anak saya pun selalu tanya, bila mak nak balik pukul 5 macam biasa. So kayaknya tolonglah yang kat luar sana tu, tolong ikut apa arahan kerajaan, duduk rumah, jangan keluar. Social distancing tu sangat penting. Sebab itulah kita terpaksa menjalani PKP ini. Tolong kami berkorban jiwa dan kami berkorban masa untuk family kami, semata-mata untuk korang. So korang pun tolong kami. Kita jaga kita. Duduk di rumah, kita lawan Covid-19.
Other than that, the medical microbiology divisions of the hospital also face challenge, such as conducting laboratory tests before a person is confirmed positively or negatively COVID-19. The sample they received was too much that they had to work on office hours up to 3 shifts. The process of decomposing the sample was to extinguish the virus through the heat activated by high heat and temperature. These samples would then undergo a nucleic acid extraction process to obtain the RNA virus from this sample. The nucleic acid extractions will then mix with a reagent material. The mixture was then added to a real-time PCR machine to determine whether the sample contained the SARS-CoV-2 virus RNA.
Proses nyah kumannya, maknanya heat activated menggunakan haba, suhu yang tinggi, jadi kita akan matikan virus tersebut dulu, dan kemudian sampel berkenaan kita akan lakukan proses nucleic acid extraction. Prosesnya ialah kita untuk mendapatkan RNA virus tersebut daripada sampel berkenaan.
Ini part extraction. Kalau kata yang dekat sana tu adalah sampel, dia ada satu part lagi, PCR. PCR dia nak tahu keputusan sama ada reaction tu positif ke negatif.
Kerana kita akan mencampurkan nucleic acid tadi dengan bahan reagent. Barulah campuran tadi untuk sampel kita akan masukkan ke dalam mesin real time PCR kita. Akhirnya daripada itu kita akan buat analisa pada keputusannya dan baru kita dapat hasil untuk menentukan bahawa satu sampel itu sama ada mempunyai RNA virus SARS-CoV-2 atau tidak di dalam sampel berkenaan.
Next, the death of a COVID-19 patient in the world is nothing new. The frontliners also express their sympathy and sadness when they see the death of a COVID-19 patients who have to go through their last few moments in the world alone and just accompanied by a specialist and a health workers instead of their loved ones. The biggest challenge was the frontliners had no direct contact with their heirs or loved ones. Each COVID-19 patient entering the ICU will be updated with their family's members daily by making a video call so that they can have at least one family contact while in the ICU.
Itulah yang lambungnya panas. Kita mesti buat.
Yang paling mencabar ialah kita tidak dapat berhubungan secara langsung dengan waris ataupun keluarga yang tersayang. Setiap pesakit COVID yang masuk ke ICU, kita akan update family member setiap hari, melakukan video call untuk waris pesakit supaya mereka dapat sekurang-kurangnya berhubungan dengan ahli keluarga ketika berada di ICU.
Puan Mariam, suami Puan Mariam sekarang Cik Kamal berada di karantina, penafas saja makin teruk. Okey, kita terpaksa masukkan tube untuk mengelakkan daripada keadaannya makin teruk. Cik Kamal, ini isteri talian telefon. Okey? Buatkan untuk yang baik-baik ni. Okey? Alright, kita baca kita. Aman. Tak boleh sikit. Lambungnya sikit. Okey, sikit.
Kematian semasa di ICU bukanlah satu event, ia sebenarnya satu proses. So sangat mencabar untuk semua anggota kesihatan, termasuk diri saya sendiri, terpaksa menghadapi saat kematian untuk pesakit. Bila kita terpaksa telefon waris mengatakan yang pesakit yang telah meninggal dunia ataupun akan meninggal dunia, dan mereka akan tanya kita, boleh datang, boleh tengok. Ada yang menangis, meraung dalam phone tu. Dan kita tahu kita tak boleh benarkan dia datang. So itu satu saat yang luar biasa. So ada juga beberapa pesakit yang tiba-tiba jantung berhenti dan segalanya. Ya, jantung berhenti dan kita terpaksa buat CPR. Lepas tu baru kita telefon beritahu patient dah tak ada.
Lastly, one of the biggest challenge faced by our frontliners is dealing with the COVID-19 patient's dead body. The COVID-19 patient's body should be wrapped with a white cotton cloth on the first layer and then inserted into 2 layers body bag. The outer surface of the bag should be dehydrated with the 0.5% sodium hypochlorite solutions. The potential or risk of infections from the COVID-19 patients remain with the person in charge or the person around. The finding of the autopsy shows that there was a COVID-19 virus on the surface of the COVID-19 patient's body, and there was also a COVID-19 virus from the fluid coming out of the body cavity.
Mayat pesakit COVID haruslah dibalut dengan kain putih kain putih cotton pada lapisan pertama dan dimasukkan ke dalam 2 lapisan body bag. Lapisan permukaan luar body bag perlulah dinyah kuman dengan larutan sodium hypochlorite 0.5%. Potensi atau risiko jangkitan daripada mayat pesakit COVID tetap ada kepada orang yang menguruskan atau orang di sekeliling. Hasil penemuan berdasar kami yang menunjukkan terdapat virus COVID-19 di permukaan badan mayat pesakit COVID, dan juga terdapat virus COVID-19 daripada cecair yang keluar daripada rongga badan.
So guys, we need to remember that the sacrifice of the frontliners over the past 4 months should not have to be paid for with more cases being recorded, especially
seeing patients dying from the outbreak. Their great service should be appreciated by ensuring that the COVID-19 chain is completely cut off. This can be done by following the movement control order and obeying the government's order to staying at home. They are heroes against the COVID-19. While we as Malaysians are determined that this sacrifice is not in vain, we need to win. We have no other choice. Thank you.
Fourth is, what is the consequences if our countries does not have frontliners? By Erma Fitriani binti Muhammad Arifin.
Hello everyone, my name is Erma Fitriana and I want to explain and talk about what will happen when we don't have frontliner in our country. Frontliner staff is not only KKM staff, but it also including policemen, soldier, cleaner, supermarket staff, and PPE tailor that were working during this pandemic. If we don't have frontliners, example policemen and soldier, most of people will easily break out the MCO rule and COVID-19 will easily spread. Next is what will happen when we don't have PPE tailor. Our KKM staff will lack of PPE because our PPE tailor not working during this pandemic. It happened, example like Indonesia, the KKM staff with lack of PPE, then they need to recycle their own PPE. Another example is if we don't have or we lack of supermarket staff, we can get our daily food and groceries during this pandemic. Another example is if we don't have cleaner during this pandemic, we will be easily get infected by this virus because our hospital and our surrounding not fully hygiene and clean. We not also forget about the reporters. If we don't have reporter during this pandemic, maybe we don't get any information about this COVID-19 disease and about all what happened during this pandemic. Okay everyone, that's all from me.
Fifth is the suggestion to reduce the risk of COVID-19 virus by Joyce Philemon.
Fear has no place here. Only love, resilience, kindness, and strength. A collective strength that can move mountains and heal communities. From the frontliner to the backroom, essential workers are courageously serving our community, risking their health and safety to protect others. So to all these heroes in healthcare, police, army, firefighter, and essential workers, thank you for being our light.
Lastly, is the slogan about the public awareness and appreciations to the frontliners by Lauren Michael.
Hello guys.
Okay, thank you for your service.
Behind me is a truly Malaysian superhero. Okay guys, say it. Kita mesti menang. Kita mesti menang.